everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I am one of your hosts, Ryan Doze, joined today by the Faz Guardian and Eric Teskey. We are here to talk about new comics, guys. We are like such a loaded lineup. Eric, we got 4 books to talk today. We're not just talking about an Immortal Thor issue. We're talking about 4 different stories. I'm really hyped, man. How are you feeling going into this?
Yes, it was a great poll week. I walked out of my LCS with my stack in hand, and I ran home to read all of these back to back, which was fantastic. And it just makes you appreciate, the good times, because we don't always have new Thor related content. So when we do, and it all lines up on the same week like this, it's just a joy.
I agree. It's like the gods of Asgard looked at us and they were like, "Hey, you're not a Spider-Man podcast, you're not an X-Men podcast, but how would you like 4 books to talk about on one episode?" And you're like, "Gee, we sure would love that." It's like Christmas came early. Faz, how do you feel going into these 4 issues? Are you also like hoping that this happens again? Because I'm already hoping this happens again.
I mean, it's been a while since I've gotten to talk about the greatest comic of all time, and we've got a paper copy of the greatest comic of all time to talk about today. So really, listeners, I could not be more fired up. The real ones know what I'm talking about. I don't know if Ryan said the name yet, but the real ones know why I'm so fired up right now.
Oh my gosh. And we are missing a Warriors 3 member today. Will Rose is taking care of some stuff, but he is with us in spirit and we love him very, very much. Mm-hmm. So this one's for Will. We're gonna give it our absolute all. So guys, let's jump into the book that we basically build our new comics content around. Let's start off with Immortal Thor 18. The story is entitled "To Be Continued." And I'm not going to lie, when they got to the last page and they revealed the title of the comic, I was like, "To Be Continued." Oh, wait, that's the title of the issue. Okay, well, whatever. So this issue is written by the Al father himself, Al Ewing, art by Jan Basil-Dua, colors by Matt Hollingsworth, letters by the lettering god, Joe Sabino, edited by Will Moss and Michelle Marchese. This issue, so good. Lots of things happen in the story. We are going to talk just real quick about the cover. And there were 3 other significant variant covers for this issue. Normally, we'll talk about like a variant cover if it's like by an artist we really enjoy, or if it's a really significant one. This actually, all of these different variant covers meet those requirements. So, the Alex Ross cover is a reflection of Thor's helmet with the gods of Midgard facing and him. He's got the hammer out, and we see most of that in the reflection. But Faz, what was your favorite cover from the batch that we got this week?
Oh, favorite cover. Okay, that is a tough call. Probably Russell. Russell's cover is my favorite because it's the 10-year anniversary of Jane, and because Russell told me a couple months ago that he had something fun coming for Thor and to be fired up, and when it appeared, I was like, oh my god! But I can't be too excited right now because my local comic book store didn't fucking get it, so it's going to cost me a bunch of money if I want one of these down the road, which is heartbreaking.
God damn.
But I would say Russell's my favorite because Jane looks amazing. And the 3 versions of Jane on the cover look great, and the pose is excellent, and it's very, it's as daughter mini as I would like it to be.
It's I said this in the comments of Russell's post. I'm like, there is a vibe. There is a Daughterman girl vibe. Like his rendition of Jane is beautiful. His Scarlet Witch is equally beautiful. He's doing those covers like just a champ right now. This cover is no slouch. Eric, what did you think of the Nick Klein cover that we got? It is it's almost too happy for Nick Klein. It's not edgy enough.
There was, I'm like, where's the gore? Where's the body horror? There's almost no gore. No, it's a very happy, fun, very sort of like nostalgic, almost even cover. And it's been a while since I've seen a Nick Klein Thor, and so seeing that again, it's nice sort of memory lane. I mean, Nick Klein Thor was my introduction to Thor. in the Donny Cates run. So that's my first comic Thor. So it's nice having at least that little bit of Nick Klein coming back into our world.
What did you I believe you picked up this last one, the winter like feast that Thor is having with Beta Ray Bill, Loki, Jane, Runa, and your guy Throg. Done by Nick Bradshaw.
I didn't get it. I should have gotten it because this is one of those. It's one of those things where I'm going to kick myself later because I should just get all the variants as they come out because I want them. But then I'm like, oh, maybe like, is that a lot of money for that week? Maybe I should just get one copy of and my husband's like, how many copies of the same comic do you need? Well, all of them. I mean, actually, but
I just bought another Absolute Superman #1, so I feel you, Hercules. This is a problem. Yeah, the second printing's so pretty. What am I supposed to do?
Right. I've already read it and I already have 2 copies, but I want another one. No, I mean it's a Throg cover. It's got Throg, and Throg is just a party animal.
He is tearing that beer up.
Well, he's a football player, man. They know how to party.
Yeah. But no, it's a really cool, very holiday, festive cover without being too like, Santa ho 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 Christmassy. It's just very like it's an Asgardian holiday. It's just
very Asgardian.
Feasting and revelry. Yeah.
I love it. There's so many good covers. We were just saying like how every so often there's one maybe variant cover that I'm interested in. This is one where I actually love all of them, and I wish I could have grabbed all of them. So the story picks up right where we left off with Magni being brought into the 616 from another version of Thor's world. And there's a lot of questioning of like, why am I here? What's going to happen now that, now that I am here? And Thor basically says, hey, like there's this game that, Earth Fathers have, and that they play called Catch. So they had this back and forth with the hammer. And it's a really good scene of, are you worthy? I don't know, I'm not worthy yet. Okay, I'm going to toss it back. But Thor gets to, they kind of break down what the worthiness requirement with the hammer is now, because Thor determines who is worthy. We saw that with the Thor core earlier on in this run. So they basically say like, hey, like let's go hunting. Let's go hunting for villains on Midgard. So Magni, Amora, Thor, and Sif actually gets to go on a fight. Fantastic. They all go to Midgard and they fight the gods of Midgard on top of the Roxxon corporate building. The fight lasts the bulk of the issue, and then it ends with the gods of Asgard all being, teleported, by a rainbow bridge back to Asgard as the cops were closing in on them. But the gods of Midgard end up going to a high security prison that is, of course, owned by Roxxon. And Chen Lu is being, the radioactive man is being very, very cryptic about what's going to happen once they get into Daedalus LLC private Roxxon prison. So, Baz, first thought, man, like this was a kind of an action-packed, fist fight of an issue. What did you, first impressions?
Well, I mean, firstly, it's his legacy number 779. Will is not here to reference that. So, legacy 779. It's important. We're getting close to 800. Can't wait to see what the Allfather has planned.
It's only a year and a half away.
But the action was cool, but that wasn't my favorite part of the issue. I am obsessed with playing Catch with Mjolnir. I think that is such a great dad-son moment, especially with the banter with the like, what's going on, my not quite father, stuff like that. And also the loophole that allows Magni to hold the hammer is also hilarious. Now, Eric, you probably understand this better than I do, so I'm saying this out loud and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. Is it true that Magni's not worthy, but as the god of strength, he is proportionally strong enough to do whatever is needed of him? Therefore, he can lift the hammer because he's stronger? And it's a loophole, but he's not actually worthy?
See, if that's the case, I hate that completely, because that would take the entire Jurgens run and make it where Magni was this like the savior of the Jurgens run. Him being worthy was the turn of the tide. And so if it's actually not because he's worthy, but just because he's so freaking strong that he can lift whatever, then like, what's the point?
But to be clear, once Odin died, the worthiness enchantment changed, right? So in the Thor, like in Jurgens, it was still, the way that Odin defines worthiness. But in this book, it's how Thor does. And Thor is specifically saying, I don't judge you worthy yet because I don't know you yet. You're
yeah, but Odin was dead in that book too, and Thor is the Allfather.
But Thor wasn't strong enough, like magic wise, with a CK to be able to change what gets deemed as worthy. Right, that was an Al creation in Immortal Thor 5, I think, is when he did that with.
Correct. Thor was he was a terrible wielder of the Odin power at the time in the Jurgens run, and he didn't know what the heck he was doing.
Yeah. Whereas this time he's getting the hang of it and understands how the magics work.
I think it's Al Ewing wanting us to feel that Magni is somehow more special than just Dad decided that he could. And so he just made it where, like, even if I didn't deem him worthy, he could lift it. And so that's
that he is worthy on his own, not because Thor said he's my son, so of course he's worthy.
That's my read on it. Yeah.
I like that better than just loophole with God of Strength. So we're going to go with yours until we have the Allfather on here and we can ask him, please, Al Ewing, if you're listening, would love it. It would be great. Please come join us.
Al Ewing, if you're listening, thank you. I love that. Like, guys, I love that back and forth. There's somebody listening that's like, gosh, these guys really do love Thor. They're like talking back.
And that person listening is Jason Aaron. Thanks again, Jason. You the man.
What did he say, Faz? Like, we were like top 3 Thor fans or something like that?
Yeah. It's his parents and then us, I think is what he said. Yeah.
And you know what? We will cede first place to Jason Aaron's parents. Yeah. So, Eric, did you have a favorite part, a first impression from this issue?
My first impression is right on page 1 here, where Magni is lifting Mjolnir. And this panel is actually a flashback to the Jurgens run. You can tell because that's frickin' Jake Olsen's skull in the corner. That's how you know this is a
Sucks
flashback.
To be Jake.
Sucks to be Jake. He got laser-eyed by frickin' Thor, and he's dead now. So, yeah. Having recently, I'm going to drop that all the time. Like, having recently read the Jurgens run, and now I know all of these things, but it makes it so super cool that Al is referencing this super unreferenced run. Like, nobody was talking about Jurgens, and then now it's come up so much. I'm like, I had to go back and read this thing. So yeah, Magni is super cool, and that's a glimpse back in time to the moment that really defined the whole sort of conclusion of that series.
So we've been talking about Jurgens kind of like on the periphery for a while now, and I know Faz has no hope, no confidence in me that we're ever going to finish Simonson, but we totally are. So I feel like we're just like slowly talking ourselves into Jurgens as our next.
I think Jurgens comes next. Yeah.
Like our guys, like we've kind of like tiptoed around it. Are we just like saying Jurgens is the next
Ryan, one? Hercules and I have already read it, so the ball's in your court. We're ready to record the whole thing should we need to.
Okay. That's hilarious because I feel like you've gotten to know me pretty well, man. Like, I haven't read any of it yet.
No, I know you haven't, but you can read them as they go, and Eric and I can refresh our memories very quickly.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's actually a really good way to do that because you guys can lead me and guide me, but I can be the point of view person for someone that didn't read all of Jurgens. Because
we know where it's going, whereas you'll be at the first time like, oh, this was I wonder if that'll come back later. We'll be like, if only you knew, idiot.
So, hey, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, we would love for you to do Jurgens next, please reach out to us on Instagram at Marvel Thor Podcast and tell us like, hey, I think Jurgens would be a great idea. Or if you can make a strong case.
If you don't want us to do Jurgens, tell us if you have to do DeFalco because we have to see what what's his face is up to right now, then that can be, we can be convinced.
Faz
It'll take me a lot.
Want to do any
what's his face stuff. Eric Masterson Thor.
I've already blocked him from my memory, Hercules. I need a break from Masterson. Yeah,
one issue was enough. But yeah, if you're listening and you have thoughts about that, please feel free to reach out to us on social, and we would love to chat with you about that. I really want to talk about the fight, guys, because
Okay,
you guys are here for the.
But before we go to the fight,
Oh, fine.
one more
whatever.
thing. I really like how Al is making it more nuanced than "Mom, Dad, it's so good to see you," and how everybody's kind of aware
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
like Magni is part of kind of the group now, but it's not like I have a son. He's exactly the son I remember. This is great. I'm his dad. And like, yeah, I'm your son. I'm the heir to the throne now. Get fired up. Everybody instead is kind of aware that like you're my
Yeah.
mom, not mom. You're my dad, not dad. You're my son, not son. And he can be as important as Al decides down the road instead of like, well, yeah, now he's the heir.
There's just
Yeah.
enough distance. It's not like Thor has to be in dad mode all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And he's an adult. So like he's not having to be like, okay, well, let me drop you off at space daycare. It's
Well, now you got to go to the Young Avengers or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, which awesome. Also in this opening scene that the guys are mentioning, we also get a sneaky reference to the Black Winter.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we have to talk about that because that was probably the best thing that came out of Donny Cates's run.
God of Hammers.
That's a side. Someday we'll do a full retrospective on the Cates run. But
I read the whole thing last weekend. I can confirm. God of Hammers.
Yeah.
Next question.
It's solid. Hey, I mean, the fact that they finally get rid of that frickin' storm deity in the thing, and his hammer can just be a hammer for once. Like, for goodness sake.
Right. But
Yeah,
like
Thor's not special because Odin trapped a mother storm once a million years ago. Thor's special because Thor's goddamn special. Okay.
Thor's special because he's goddamn special. But like, were you guys like, honestly, guys, the Black Winter reference was in the preview pages. So the second I read that, I was like, oh shit, we're just going at it now.
Alex Ross just dropped the cover for Immortal Thor 21. And that's the only thing I'm going to say.
Hold on.
About Donny Cates. You guys can
I'm not going to spoil anything,
it.
but I will look at this because I love that Alex Ross drops these.
Like 3 months out or whatever. That's how he does it. Whenever the new one is out, he immediately drops the next one 3 months going forward. Yeah.
But speaking of the Black Winter, I noticed that I'm the only one in my Google Drive notes right now that I put together.
I should go take a look.
But yes, Black Winter reference. Everyone geeks out about the Black Winter. Obviously, the Black Winter is the universe-ending level threat from the Donny Cates run. And when Thor defeats the Black Winter, there's a single black snowflake left. And Thor holds it in his hand, and the Black Winter says, do you want to see how you're going to die, basically? And that's where the famous Thanos holding the Infinity Gem encrusted Mjolnir image comes from. You've probably seen this online. Even if you haven't read the Donny Cates run, you've probably seen it circulating because it's a famous image, and it's never been paid off. And so that's one of the prophecies, plural, about how Thor could die. We also have Uller from those weird Thor family tree issues with the Skinner boxes and Uller having
Valentina Pinty, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the image of or the prophecy that Uller sees Thor dead on a bridge that we also saw way back before the series even started in the annual that sort of previewed the Immortal Thor run, that we got that image of Thor with the belt, with Tormod the axe, and bloodied and beaten. So there are no less than 2 prophecies of Thor dying, and I want to know sort of which one are we going to go with, because bringing up the Black Winter at this point in the game makes me think maybe that's the way it happens.
Ryan, did you find the cover?
I did not. My search is ongoing. But
Eric, you okay if I share it in the chat, or do you not want to see the cover yet?
Oh no, I want to.
Okay.
I want to live react to this. Where did you find it? Because it's not on his Instagram.
So when I take a look at the Thor covers to talk about them, I go to the League of Comic Geeks website, and it usually, once it's been announced on Twitter or whatever, they post it there.
Okay, it is.
So I'm not going to read the summary for you.
Son
but I just
of
sent
a
you the
bitch.
photo so you can see it. So you guys can see who's behind the other person there, and you can understand why we're going where we're going. And I hope that answers your question, Hercules listeners. Eric's mouth is wide open, and I don't know if Ryan's frozen or dead by what has happened here.
No.
But you guys can see where we're going, maybe.
Oh my gosh!
Shit!
Key reference by Hercules there about that one panel from the Gates run. There is a chance that whatever that story was going to be will be finished at the end of this Utgard Gods run by the Owl Father.
So it's maybe both. Yeah, both prophecies are the same prophecy. We've only seen Thor dead and bloody on a bridge, which is like that bridge that took them to the gates. The Immortal Thor run, but we've never seen who he was facing, and so he could be facing Thanos.
Yeah, he could be Thanos with the magic Infinity Gauntlet. Mjolnir is possible.
I'm not gonna lie. For a brief second, I forgot why we were here. It was so cool.
Except, all of the Infinity Stones are currently inside people, and that has a 5-issue miniseries currently happening right now. Because our boy Apex,
they could be at different times, though, right?
Power Stone, he has to barf up the stone in order for it to be on Mjolnir.
That is such a weird.
It could be from a different time, though, because like the Hercules stuff was out of order with the giant-sized Thor #1, right? So it could be out of order still.
I love that Eric just said our guy Apex. Because that was in the annual, right?
Yeah.
Apex was kind of like the dummy Thor.
That was one of my favorite issues of the year. Like that was awesome.
It was a lot of fun, but I was just like Apex. Oh, right. Okay, guys. I didn't want to get to the fight on top of the rooftop, if I may be so bold.
I don't know. I feel like we're distractible easily. Yeah, Ryan, get in there.
No, but, dude, that cover is legitimately the coolest thing I've seen in a long. That's cool.
I think it's my new favorite one, which says a lot.
Like that is, and the thing is, we've got two great covers leading up to that. Like Thor cover for 19 is awesome, and the cover for 21 is like the cover of a metal album. This one is just like, yeah, no, you can take my money. It's fine. Like double, triple, I don't care. Screw the price of eggs. I'm paying as much as I need for that. So I love this fight because it shows how the gods of Midgard really are the juxtaposition to the gods of Asgard. The gods of Midgard are all trying to fight on their own. They're really not a team, but the gods of Asgard are working together. They're trying to conquer this problem. And Hyde, Calvin Zabo, kind of goes into business for himself. Cobra does help him a little bit with the Cobra gas and hands him an extra vial of the serum, but Hyde goes full off the reservation and thinks he can just punch his way out of this problem like he's never fought Thor before ever. And Chen Lu just sits back and does nothing the entire time. He's very, very confident that even if he's captured, he's going to go to an unremarkable building in an unremarkable room and that he'll be fine. And that really does lead to the epilogue of the issue. But what do you guys think of the actual fight on top of the rooftop? This feels like classic superhero shenanigans.
They one punch each of these villains. Yeah. Like I went back and I was like, wait a second. They dispose of these sea level villains with a single hit each, pretty much, because that just kind of shows really the level that they're at. They are not at taking on Thor level. They got lucky, and this is really kind of resetting the power dynamic, I think.
Makes me feel like maybe maybe the gods of Midgard are getting a power upgrade soon.
Well, it was also fun because like Thor's supposed to be the strongest he's ever been, and the fact that he almost lost to them the first time, he was like, "Fuck, that's bad. I feel like I'm better than these guys. I'm getting lazy." and we got to like prove that, where like not only is Thor better than all of them, but each individual person he brought with them is also better, except maybe Magni, who is just he's out of practice. He's been dead for like 20 years. You know,
he's around here.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the fight is that Thor takes out super jacked Hyde by bonking him, and that's how the image is, just really hard in the head with the hammer.
Hyde goes to punch the hammer. Thor holds the hammer out. He basically just like it looks like he like breaks his arm against the hammer, and then you're right. As Thor just goes bonk, tink, and then Hyde is this overzealous buffoon that's just like, oh, I'm so mad, I'm gonna he's like worse Juggernaut. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how he functions. Juggernaut. And I just love that Thor, like Eric said, he one hits him. It's a one hit crit, and then
he definitely rolled a nat 20 for that one.
Then at the end of the issue, we see Dario Agger again, and Dario's like, hey, the retaking of my company is, almost complete. And then we see the gods of Midgard being taken to this prison, the Daedalus prison. So, Faz, what do you think this prison is? Why was Chen Lu making such a big deal about it? What's going to happen here?
Before going there, I got to give some credit to my girl Amora for Alex, because she gets touched by Grey Gargoyle and she's just like, man, this is some primitive ass magic you got here. Eh? That's like super easy for me to deal with. And then he's like cute. Green Amora instead, Stone. I thought that was a lot of fun. So I got to put some respect on her name. Otherwise, again, Alex will be coming for us. So it's important.
That was very, very fun. She was like, oh, this spell is so adorable.
It's also funny that Thor got wrecked by it and would have died if not for her. And she's like, oh, you baby's first spell. That's so nice.
First spell. And she's referring to the guy who turned all of Paris to stone. Yeah. It's like, yeah, Paul Duvall is not weak. Amora is just that much stronger.
My theory about Daedalus prison is the same as what Eric had said, and he said it first in the chat, so I want to give him the floor to theorize what this is.
I love this idea.
Well, I mean, I Googled Daedalus and I was like, it's on the side of the truck, it's on the sign, it's got to mean something. And so it is the name of the architect and inventor that builds the labyrinth in Greek mythology where the Minotaur is kept. And so obviously, Dario Agger, the Minotaur, this is like his lair. This is his labyrinth. And so I think this is going to be, I think we're going to get an interior shot of this. Is going to be some kind of a labyrinth, or at the very least, the unremarkable cell in the unremarkable building is going to be something that they can just walk right out of. I mean, obviously, Roxxon owns the prison.
And used as their Suicide Squad whenever they want, for sure, right? To come out and keep causing chaos. Yeah.
I love that idea. Any final thoughts on the issue? And then I'll read the solicitation for the next issue.
Did you want to talk about the If They Be Wordy segment yet, or do you want to do that after the solicitation?
Yes. Faz, why don't you tell people why we're so interested in the letters section?
Well, listeners, Across the Bifrost continues to dominate the letters section. Our girl Alex, who I've been making sure to shout out because I'm hoping that she listens to this one to hear this mentioned, got her letter in. Woo! And Al Ewing promised her more Enchantress, which is just gotta be her dream come true to hear those words. That I'm not done with her yet. We've got a bunch, and she's still rolling strong. This is awesome. So happy for Alex. Congratulations. Frame that book. If you ever catch the magical mythical man, Al Ewing, get him to sign it. And it's the exciting
magical
time.
Mythical man.
He said it himself. So described magical mythical creature.
It's such a great title to give yourself.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The letter was she was incredibly complimentary. Mm-hmm. It was a beautifully written fan letter, and I just love how Al was like, yeah, don't you worry. And her reaction on social media was worth the price of admission. She's just freaking out, and it was a lot of fun to see that. Immortal Thor 19 is going to be a little interesting, guys. Here's the solicitation for it. It says, "This is not the story of the Immortal Thor." Okay. The Allfather had a journey to make a far star, and so, for a time, the Golden Realm was left to rule itself. Yet, even in the absence of the king, the story continued, and each Asgardian had their own drama to play out. These are the Tales of Asgard. A cavalcade of artists, including Jan Basil Dua, Valerio Schiti, Juan Cabal, Martin Cacolo, bow, 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 DAFU, Steve Scroce.
Isn't it Cafu? Isn't it pronounced that way, or is it?
I figured they were like initials.
Oh, okay.
CAFU or CAFU. Steve Scroce, Gavin Guidry, and many more are going to be involved in this issue. So, two-part question, guys. What about the solicitation? It gets you excited, and which of the artists gets you the most excited? Faz, we'll get your Martin Cacolo.
You'll get it out of the way. Yeah. Okay. So, firstly, the thing I'm most excited about is this is maybe my favorite Alex Ross cover so far.
Oh yeah. Can you describe it for people?
Thor is sitting on the throne of Asgard. Yggdrasil is behind him. Mjolnir's in front of him. So is Tormod. And he's man spreading and he looks really freaking built. I will need to recreate this, but in order to do so, I've got to build the belt and I've got to remember what the fancy name for the belt is. So we'll stay tuned for when I can do that. But I'm obviously excited for my guy Martin Cacolo to be back. I'm sure you're all shocked, everybody, to hear that. But also, like, I'm just excited to have Tales of Asgard. Like, it's nice of Al to borrow our Tales of Asgard segment and turn it into something they can use in the comics. So good. Thanks for that, Al. But I think it's cool to have 19 or however many it is individual stories that are all one page with different artists. It's going to be really, really fun. And I hope it builds out some of the supporting cast that we've been asking them to do. Eric, what do you think?
I'm so distracted by this League of Comic Geeks website now that has, if you click on these untitled sections, how do they know what characters are already going to be in there? It says that there's going to be
the preview of like the first 8 pages popped out.
Oh, snap. Yeah. I haven't seen that. Okay. Well, if Beta Ray Bill is going to be in it, I'm a huge Beta Ray Bill fan. I'm a big Strange Academy fan, and so I want to see what's going on with like Alvi and anything like Enchantress and her kids related. But I mean, this is just so exciting because I think a lot of the best Thor stories are built with Thor as the connective tissue or the canvas, and all these things are sort of going on around him.
Agreed.
And this is an issue entirely devoted to that. So I think there's a lot of really significant stuff that could happen here.
So I honestly, Eric, that's the reason why I'm excited about this issue so much is we get to see a Thor book actually just focus entirely on his supporting cast. So I'm excited to see, like, are we going to get a Warriors 3 story? Are we going to get a Beta Ray Bill story? Are we going to get a Sif story, an Amora story? Like, I want to see who gets spotlighted in this. And of course, artist-wise, I am so excited to see Martin do a Thor book again, even if it's just for a few pages. Like I'm just stoked to see him come back. He is absolutely killing it on Wolverine. That book is just so visceral and cool. But also, I'm just gonna throw in a little thing here for Valerio Schiti. Faz, can you tell me why Valerio Schiti is him returning to Thor might be such a big deal for me and by proxy you?
Don't know.
Valerio Schiti was the guest artist during the War Thor run.
Oh,
I knew that would get you.
That is a huge deal.
So Valerio Schiti doing that is I'm excited to see which story he is bringing to life. Also, Steve Scroce is also one of my favorites. He did a Thing miniseries last year, and it was very fun. So, anywho, guys, I feel like we've thoroughly discussed. How have we not discovered that one before?
Got to put Ryan in Thor jail now. We'll let him out in a little bit.
We're very excited to see where Immortal Thor 19 goes, but let's hop into Captain America number 16. This is the last issue of J. Michael Straczynski's run on this book. Eric and I really have been the ones kind of championing this little story here. This is the overall story is called the New Warriors 3, and I don't know, Eric. Should we maybe recap for Faz and others like Faz who haven't?
Yeah, please recap because I listen when it comes out monthly, but I haven't read it, so update me on what's been going on.
So Kelda, the goddess of light, I believe, from the Straczynski run, she was the Asgardian who had the romance with Bill, son of William, the fry cook from the diner.
Yes,
and she essentially, when they were on a date or just walking down the streets of Broxton, took sort of like a snapshot. You know, that idea of like, I want to freeze this memory and just like keep this forever. She did that, and she created a whole negative dimension doppelganger version of that moment in time that lived on. Broxton has since, been destroyed, but this negative space, this photo negative of that snapshot moment in time lives on. They describe it almost like a save point in a video game where potentially Broxton could be restored if they could just figure out how to bring that save point back, and resolve those, how the dark dimension or the mirror dimension split off. It would just recombine that with present time. But what would happen to the people who had died? Would they potentially be brought back? And so that's what they're wondering. But they go on this quest into that negative space, into that mirror realm, and they find Bill at the end of the last issue in jail, imprisoned there, in his current state. So all of the other characters are negatives because they're in this sort of like negative realm, and Bill is normal colored and might be the key to this whole thing.
Yeah. The issue, this Captain America 16 is entitled End at the Beginning, and we really don't have to spend too much time breaking down the story of this because it's very like sprint to the finish, where they break Bill out of the cell. Negative Loki tries to stop Spider-Man and Captain America from retrieving Bill. Kelda fights off Loki. And Thor is meanwhile fighting off the negative version of himself. And we actually kind of lose track of Thor for a while here because the main body of the story becomes a lot of wordless pages with Spider-Man, Captain America, and Bill escaping. Once they escape, Bill gets out, and they're thinking, okay, shouldn't Broxton have gone back to normal now? But that's not the case. They have to actually defeat, Loki and Thor. Kelda has to kind of put down the sacrifice play, and they defeat the villains. Dark Asgard is defeated, and when that happens, Broxton comes back. Kelda and Bill are reunited. Some really good moments there. But then this is the end of this stint of Captain America, and it ends kind of with a whisper, not a bang. And it ends with them talking about like, hey, if you ever need any help, I'll be right there. And Thor. The last bit of Thor we see in this issue is him being like, oh, before I get you guys back to where you're going to go, we're going to pop into this bakery because they've got really good rye bread in here. I shit you not. That's this last like line of the issue. And then Captain America and Spider-Man are talking on the outside of the bakery. They chat a little bit, but it doesn't feel like the culmination of J. Michael Straczynski telling this big story. It's just like, okay, well, we're done.
How long was the run?
16 issues.
Wow, that's interesting.
So it's like not a limited series. It's not it didn't feel paced as a culmination of a Captain America epic or a Captain America story. It just kind of felt like, okay, and now we're done. And even J. Michael Straczynski's letter at the end was just like, hey, this was fun. Everybody on the creative team did great. Hope you enjoy the next one. And I was like, okay, it's whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, but he basically ended his run on Captain America with an overt Thor story, which is fine for us. But like,
weird
I can see Captain America fans being like a little bit like, okay, cool. whatever.
Now, my take on this, and I have never met J. Michael Straczynski, and I would love to find out what's going on. But from what I've heard, he's notoriously doesn't like people messing with his stuff. He's like, I'm telling a story. And I think in the Thor run, they were like, the editorial team was like, hey, we've got this whole idea for Siege. All this stuff's going to kick off. And he's like, yeah, no, like, just you can do that, whatever you want, but I'm out. Right. And it kind of seems like with this, he was doing his Cap run. And then they were like, hey, Bucko, why don't you do a Sam Wilson Red Hulk thing? Because the movie's coming out. And he's like, yeah, no, like I'm out. And I'm just going to wrap this up quickly. That's my take on what happened, not knowing any of the details. I feel like that makes
perfect sense. Yeah.
To so abruptly switch to like, and then now Sam Wilson and Red Hulk, it's like he's just going to be like, all right, I'm just going to walk away.
Like, and I hate this.
Well, the drama behind his run of Thor, right, was that he had an exclusivity agreement where they couldn't tell him what to do for like a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And they didn't tell him they wanted him to do Siege. They wanted him to, he said no. And then like 3 years in, they were like, okay, it's time to do Siege. And he was like, all right, I'm out. Fuck you. And he went on his way. Right.
Yeah, I think I saw in interviews it was he actually only agreed to like I think it was like a 6-month exclusivity, and they really honored that because I think he got like 12 issues in or something before they started to try to plant the seeds for some kind of a crossover. Mm-hmm. So I think he stuck it out, but I really get the feeling, and again, I haven't met the guy, but I get the vibe that he's just like, I want to just write and I don't want to like try to negotiate all this crossover stuff.
Yeah. He would like the Al Ewing treatment where Al was like, it's annoying to get Thor in the Avengers. And they were like, cool, okay, he's going to leave the Avengers then. Thanks.
Whatever you want. Yeah, we'll just take him out.
We'll just put Storm. She has lightning. That's a vibe, right? And Jed's like, fuck it, I'm doing the X-Men anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah. I do like the one last thing I'll say about this issue, because I don't think we need to belabor this one. We got to get along to TVA and the most important book of the week. I do love the little solicitation for the next run, because we don't really even know what's going to happen with Steve Rogers, because the next book they're promoting is Captain America Sam Wilson #1, written by Greg Pak. Greg Pak, famously known for his run on Hulk and all the stuff he did with the Red Hulk. I think he might have actually created the Red Hulk.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be interesting to see what Greg Pak does with, this being probably the lead up to the Brave New World movie. We've got Red Hulk on this little promo image. Isaiah Bradley is on this cover. Sam Wilson's there. Like, it's honestly, I will at least pick up issue 1 of this because of Greg Pak writing and the idea of like, hey, we're just like, Red Hulk's going to be in it from the beginning, and maybe see what story they tell along with the movie coming out very soon.
I'm just a big Bill and Kelda fan, so the fact that they end this little arc with them in the diner saying how they're going to get married, I just love that. Good vibes for them, love to see it.
That was honestly that felt like okay, and now the story is wrapped. Like that felt like a good. So this is almost like a Bill and Kelda story with like, oh yeah, and those 3 superheroes were here too.
Well, and maybe he always wanted to do that, and because he left in a blaze of angry glory, right, he didn't get to finish the story the way he wanted to. So he's like, 15 years later, let's wrap this, or however long it's been now.
Well, guys, I think it's probably time to move on to TVA #1. This is, a lot of firsts here. So let's, I guess, buckle up for the first appearance of a lot of different people. TVA #1 does not have a name for the story itself, but it is written by Catherine Blair, who was one of the writers of the latest season of Loki. The penciler is the artist is Perry Perez, colorist Guru EFX, letterer this guy named Joe Sabino.
Oh, I never heard of him. He's probably like the greatest of all time letterer.
It sounds familiar.
And he likes hockey. I bet that guy likes hockey.
He's a hoser.
No, he's not a hoser.
Did I use it correctly?
No, you didn't.
Damn it. I don't know. And it's edited by Jordan D. White. So this story, a lot of fun. We're being introduced to a lot of different people that we've seen in the MCU, but maybe we haven't seen in a Marvel comic thus far. So I'll just give you a quick synopsis of what happened in this issue, and then we can bounce the ball around for our takes. So we start off with Gwen Stacy being our point of view character. She's doing a promo for the new and improved TVA, and this leads to kind of a group disagreement with B-15, Mobius, Miss Minutes. They're all just kind of discussing stuff, and Gwen slips away. Gwen goes down to the cafeteria to get some of that pie, and that we've seen in the show so many times. And there is a version of Mobius down there who has like Wolverine claws. Sure.
Oh no, that isn't a version of Mobius. That's a different guy.
Oh, it was?
Jimmy Hudson. Jimmy Hudson.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's unclear who he is, whether he's a Wolverine clone or a Wolverine son or whatever. All we know is that he's a Wolverine because of the very obvious tell he has. Yeah,
1,000 apologies. So we then get kind of our gang together. Peggy Carter shows up. Always love to see Captain Carter. We get Remy LeBeau, Gambit, who has come from a universe where Rogue.
Ooh, he's about to make a name for himself.
I'm about to make a name for myself. As Eric, don't worry, we will get to the cosplay comparisons and who wore it better. But then the gang gets all together and then they go off on this journey to a different multiverse to find out what the madness is, why people are starting to see these terrifying images. Is it a spell? Is it a disease? What's going on? Is it an incursion? They get to this other dimension, and all of them are kind of attacked by these zombified versions of things from their life. For Gwen, it's all these different versions of Spider-Man. For Gambit, it's a zombified version of Rogue. For Captain Carter, it's these zombie Nazis. And then they all go back and they're told by Doc Clock, making their first appearance, basically, hey, you guys need to rest. Like, we can figure this out another day. You guys need to rest. And Gwen has a dream where she is walking down the steps of the TVA. She sees a wisp of a green cloak, and then she wakes up. And we're told to be continued. And we'll get to the epilogue little comic in a minute. But guys, Faz, first impressions of TVA #1. What was something that jumped out to you?
I mean, the most important thing about this is that the comics universe and the MCU are totally the same multiverse now. It's now indisputable, in my Fazgardian opinion. This TVA is not the TVA of the comics. This is not your father's TVA. It's not your mother's TVA. This is the Tom fucking Hiddleston TVA. Down to the point, there's even a statue of my guy, the God of Stories, there. I am so hyped to see Owen Wilson again, to see Ki Hugh Kwan again, to see all the cool people, and to see Spider-Gwen, who is amazing in her own right. It's a great cast. I imagine that this Gambit is going to be, when this gets a live-action tie-in, which it will, I imagine this Gambit is Channing Tatum. That's how I see it. Obviously, right. Captain Carter is Haley Atwell. I'm really excited. I wasn't going to pick this one up. I decided to because we were talking about it, and it was a lot of fun. It was an easy read. It was cool. They got the gang back together. I'm in. I also like Gwen as the focal character. I like her a lot.
Why do you say that?
Why do I like Gwen?
As the focal point character.
So like following B-15 or Mobius or whoever, you'll get tied down into a lot of TVA lore that might not actually be super fun to do. But Gwen being new to it all and learning things just like we are, it's similar to Loki season 1, right? Where he's new to the TVA and he's like, well, why do we do that? Well, it's how we do things here. Why do we do that? And I don't know anything about her comic run, but the fact that she has this other thing going on that's like, OB knows why I'm here, but nobody else really does. I think that's interesting. And I really want the finale of the Spider-Verse movies to come out, and it sounds like it's not coming out till like 2029. So the best I get for now is this beautiful comic that has Gwen in it. Does that answer your question, Professor Rye Guy?
Professor, nice.
Gave you an upgrade.
Eric, what'd you think of TVA #1? Kind of just first impressions.
I love the idea that this is the same TVA from the 616, but it mentions in the paragraph at the start of the issue that things have changed over time, but it doesn't ever contradict and say that it's not the same TVA. And so it just says that events have been happening over time, and that this character has saved them, given them the ability to have multiple timelines at once without just one sacred timeline. So we obviously know that that's a reference to the show. But it very well could be the same continuity of the TVA. And the TVA exists outside of time and reality anyway. And so why not? It doesn't really count as an alternate dimension. It's sort of a null space. And it's anything that happens there could happen there. I love the little Deadpool poster cameo. There's the Deadpool poster on the wall in one of the hallways.
Where was that?
In one of the hallway scenes, we got a Deadpool poster and I think that establishes that Deadpool was maybe an employee there.
Yep,
like in the movie.
It's like the third or fourth page, Ryan.
Okay.
What if? Okay, here's my Hail Mary scenario. Right. This is
okay.
What if this comic is setting up a Loki season 3 without Loki, and they're going to call it just TVA, and Loki already, maybe, Tom Hiddleston, his contract is up. He had a nice close to the character's arc, and he don't want to bring that back up. But
he's coming back for Secret Wars like Avenger Prime. Let's be honest here, Eric.
Okay,
but, we're not going to use him
Wars
until
cameo,
then.
But maybe not. But they could still do TVA stories, and TVA stories have already been shown in the Deadpool movie. That could be a TVA story, and this very well could be Channing Tatum's Gambit in a TVA story. Landing there and going on wacky missions. So I just think that's pretty cool. I was a little bit in the story. I'm a little tired of the trope of we have to face our greatest fears. There's always some hand wavy thing with that, and whether it's magic or a dimension or a
nightmare,
a relic or a nightmare, whatever it is. I'm a little sick of that. But yeah, okay, there's these timelines that for some reason they have to face their fears on those timelines, yada, yada, yada. We just want to have interesting character specific challenges. I get that.
Yeah. I did feel like I was like, hey, with the TVA, your obstacles, your antagonists they can be so unique. I hope there's a unique twist to this.
Yeah.
Like where, OB mentions, oh, well, they couldn't be incursions. And I'm like, that means they're 1,000% incursions. Like,
and that was a funny bit too, where it's like, it's, incursions is 4th on the list. Okay. So it's probably an incursion. Like,
I will say my favorite thing about this is I told the guys in the group chat the other day that I've started reading Spider-Gwen's ongoing series right now, and I'm a few issues into it and I'm really enjoying it, but it starts out with Gwen being like, hey, I'm in the 616 right now, and I'm kind of like trying to find my way, and the TVA is prominent in the first issue because they're like, hey, like, Gwen, you have to kind of lay low here, because like you don't really have an identity, and our Gwen Stacy is kind of famously gone. So you kind of gotta like not. So I'm interested to see how that matures later on into the story. But Stephanie Phillips is the writer of this series, and it's such a fun book. It's got a lot of the like Spider-Verse quippiness, but with the TVA added element.
You mean Catherine Blair?
No, Stephanie Phillips is writing.
Oh, the Spider-Gwen writer. Okay, yeah.
Spider-Gwen is written by Stephanie Phillips, who's...
Oh, so that one's ongoing in connection with this one?
Well, so I don't know how interconnected it will be. I'm not caught up to current yet.
Is it over or is it still going?
No, it's still going, and it's got solicitations for January, February, and March. And guys, just so you know, the March solicitation cover is of Gwen and King Loki.
When you say King Loki, which one?
Like it's like classic Loki.
Oh,
He's got the long horns. It's kind of the classic look that people might automatically think for a comics Loki. But the solicitation for that says, Ghost Spider Beyond. Gwen has something that King Loki wants. She'll do everything in her power to keep it from him. The god of lies and deception knows his strength. His strength lies in the world, in words over brute force. So he intends to convince Gwen to give up the artifact willingly. It's the most unlikely team up ever between Ghost Spider and King Loki as they embark on an intergalactic adventure for the ages. So I'm not saying that will tie into TVA, but it is another place that Loki is going to show up. We haven't gotten a confirmation that Loki is showing up in the TVA comic, but maybe Gwen going on an adventure with Loki is something to maybe just keep our eye on in a few months. Do you guys want to do any final thoughts on TVA? Because we have the most important book of the week coming up. Faz, final thoughts on TVA?
I like it. I'm probably going to keep picking it up. I'm hoping it's not too long because I can only have so many books.
I think it's only a 5-issue mini.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want to hear.
So we'll keep covering that here. Eric, did you have any final thoughts on TVA number 1?
Just that I didn't see the green cloak until you guys mentioned it.
We do have to talk about one more thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
The most important thing about this issue is that we got to see Eric speaking in a Cockney accent via our group chat because of the last most important page of the issue.
Eric, what would that sound like? I just don't know.
I'm the bloke in charge of security across the entire TVA. That's almost Australian. Yeah, they're related.
It's also almost like 1920s announcer voice.
I expect you to be like throwing out papers. So
he's Sir Seconds. Yeah, he is the goat. The entire page is just a sign to don't flush things other than toilet paper down the toilets, which is fucking hilarious as a way to end the first issue.
Oh man, it's good fun. I'm excited to see. This was Catherine Blair's first time writing a comic for Marvel, so I'm excited to see how. Man, do
you guys think the Green Cloak is the God of Stories Loki, the King Loki from the Gwen series, or something else entirely?
I think it's Sylvie.
Sylvie would be fun.
Because Sylvie's on the cover.
Yes. Yeah, we haven't seen her yet. She's on the cover.
Yeah, but she's wearing a suit jacket on the cover, though, not a cloak.
Details.
Mm-hmm. The mischief is in the details, my friend.
A suit jacket? What are you talking about? She's wearing
a blazer.
She's got a blazer on, right?
So,
what do you consider a suit jacket? If
business,
not that?
Sylvie. Business, Sylvie.
I'm a Philistine, so I don't wear that kind of stuff to work.
This is why we don't have benefits, listeners, because Ryan refuses to wear a jacket.
Man. You're lucky you sent that Alex Ross Immortal Thor 21 cover, because otherwise I would have shut this down minutes ago, Faz. That was just minutes ago. Guys, let's get to the last book of the week. I'm so happy we get to talk about this many comics, but this is Alligator Loki Holiday Special number 1. Faz, go.
Bitches, we're back. So the first problem I have, it's important to get this out of the way because I loved this, obviously, and I love everything about it, but I don't love everything about it. And I have one very silly gripe that Eric has already poked holes in my logic for in the pregame, but I'm still going to do it. Why is it in issue 1? This is collecting issues 13 to 24 of Alligator Loki, and it has a Christmas special. Put the Christmas special at the end and call it number 2, because I have number 1 signed and doodled by Alyssa Wong with me in this office. Doodled. They drew an Alligator Loki for me.
Oh God, I was
on it. Yeah, doodled, Ryan. Jesus, man. Where this is a family book. He's a cartoon alligator with Loki horns. Let's relax, Ryan. So, I mean, it should be an issue number 2. It's fine that it's not, but I'm a little annoyed about it. Eric, what is your reason for why it shouldn't be in number 2?
It's the holiday special, and it's going to sell more issues. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That makes point. That's a good point. And also the fact that, like, I think we're way past 24 on the Infinity comic. I want to say we're in like the 30s, maybe even 40 now.
So this issue is called, really, it's the Christmas the Christmas story is it's Alligator Loki Holiday Special #1. Story is You'll Be Unto Ye, and it is written by honestly favorite of the show, Alyssa Wong. Art by Bob Quinn, colors by Pete Pentazis, and edited by Kat Gregorowitz. So, and I love it on Marvel Wiki. It just says letters uncredited. You know why? Because there aren't any. So Faz, I feel.
I mean, there's the end at the end. Thank you. So there are letters.
Right. You know, I feel like Bob could whip that up with the stylus. Faz, you're going to do it so much better than me. Could you just tell us what this holiday story entails?
All right, guys. So it's winter has come to Asgard, but in a fun way. There's no evil frost giants. We're just decorating trees, hanging out with the scary big raven things. There's like a Trojan horse or something in the background of the first panel, which I love.
It's
someone probably cat. What? It's friggin' or something. Didn't you listen to my call in? I called in.
Son of a bitch, Faz.
What do you mean?
I left a voice memo. It's a Yule Bach.
Oh, that's what a Yule Bach. Okay, I did listen. It didn't connect in my brain that's what that was. So I did listen to the part about the big Frigga cat, but no machine guns, and it made me laugh because I just recently reread that again, and my only thought was, why the fuck are there machine guns on this giant cat? But I'm glad that Alyssa apparently agrees with me and removed them. So Thor comes in being Santa Thor, which is a direct reference to many different comic things, including What If Season 2, on Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder in Santa's sleigh. He's handing out presents to everybody. Loki and Alligator Lokes are a little jealous of their fancy brother. He gets tied up. Throg makes an appearance, tinsels everybody up all excitedly. You guys will notice that on many of the panels there are 4 trees, because as described on this podcast, 4+ is a normal number of Christmas trees, and this book stays with that convention. At some points even going as far to say 5 trees, but 4 minimum. You see Loki and Alligator Lokes all jealous. They go to a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. They decorate it themselves. Throg is mean to them. And Throg he gets his comeuppance in that he gets kicked through a portal to go away. And then Thor helps their tree. Alligator Loki and regular Loki start assembling the people, fucking around a bit, saying hi to Jeff the Shark, getting ornaments everywhere, chasing him around. And it ends with just a beautiful little decorating of the tree with a bunch of references to the Marvel Universe and Yule. A bunch of pissed off and tired people wondering why they were there, and everybody happy, with big signs on it that say glorious purpose.
Beautiful.
Boys, what did I miss? Give me some details.
Yeah, come on, Eric. Hit
one of my favorite things, and the fact that this is collected in a physical comic will help to illustrate the point. Alligator Loki wrecks Hawkeye's tray of food that he had there. And actually, if you turn the page, Hawkeye famously is like, wants nothing more than to be cute with Alligator Loki and to like give him treats and have his affection and to like cuddle with him because he's like an adorable alligator. And Alligator Loki is an ass to him and
he just hates Hawkeye. Yeah.
And so Hawkeye in tears with Alligator Loki is such a wonderful thing. And so this is just, it's a nice callback to that of just like Hawkeye cannot win and Alligator Loki just doesn't give a shit.
Alyssa Wong, the champion of continuity. There you go.
Yeah.
Champion of continuity. I loved this little story, guys. It was a lot of fun. Just a really quick, breezy holiday story, and Alligator Loki getting up to his regular shenanigans. Guys, do you have any final thoughts on new comics for this week? We had 4 issues in this giant-sized new comics to talk about, with Immortal Thor 18, Captain America 16, TVA #1, and Alligator Loki Holiday Special #1, Legacy #2. Any final thoughts?
Legacy #2. Thank you for that, Ryan. That's nice.
I know.
My only final thought is that was really sweet, and I'm sure that Will Rose will appreciate it, and I'm very happy with that. Legacy #2 makes me feel good. As long as the third one gets called Legacy #3, I'm all good. Those are my final thoughts.
Eric, any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, listener, spread the word. You think this Thor train is slowing down? No. We've seen solicitations for all kinds of Doctor Strange stuff coming up with Asgard.
Doctor Strange of Asgard. Again.
you're going to want to follow the best Thor podcast, the only Thor podcast on the interweb for all of the things in the world of Thor, because we're going to be breaking it down, hyping it up, chatting about it, whatever another version
breaking
of that
it
is.
Down and hyping it up. I love that.
Chatting
We're gonna
about
break
it, thorn about,
We're going to break it, put it back
Thorn
together,
about.
and break it again. Yeah.
Man, Eric's right though. We have so many books coming up. We've seen solicitations for 3 months out, and seriously, this Thor train is not stopping anytime
And
soon.
more importantly, guys, we're done with the gods of Midgard, which means that the Utgard gods are back. And even if there weren't
Ooh.
50 other books coming, the main storyline of the greatest comic of all time, potentially, that the Allfather's working on, is coming back into focus. You're not going to want to miss it, and you're going to want to support us, maybe even at the next level. If you're interested in that, guys, we do have a Patreon. You can join the Thor Corps. I should have done this approximately 45 minutes to an hour ago, but I'm an idiot, and we're like 4 into this of me forgetting. So, guys, if you like what we do here, if you want to help us live our dream of all going to an Indianapolis Colts game together. That's right. Eric's part of the team. We're amending the dream a little bit. Then this is the way to do it, guys. You can join for just a few bucks a month, all the way up to, I don't know what the highest tier is worth, but name your price. We'll make a tier for you, friends. Whatever you want, we would
no
really
number
appreciate
is too
that.
high.
Any listeners are extremely appreciated. Tell your friends, tell your family. If you want to support us to the next level, we'll love you for it. That's how Eric and I get dental. So if you want us to have nice teeth, you don't know what they look like because of the fact that this is a audio only podcast, you're welcome. But if you want us to have nice teeth, that's your chance, guys.
Oh my gosh. So just for a few dollars a day, a few dollars a month.
Just a few dollars a minute, you can send us to a Comic-Con. That would be nice.
Thank you. Eric picked up on what I was trying to do. For a few dollars a month, you can support a Thor podcast host and get them to a Comic-Con sometime soon. Guys, you can support us at the links in the episode description. We got social media on Instagram. Join Discord if you want to chat about more of these things with
our Discord is popping.
Yeah, I mean, we've even got a DC little channel now because our buddy Greg from Bearded Comic Bro, he necessitated it.
And we're even going to add a video game channel eventually so we can talk about Marvel Rivals without confusing Ryan. But he's got a shit or get off the pot on that one.
Fantastic. Yes, I do need to add the video game one. But we talk about a lot of stuff over there. It's a cool group. So if you want to join, click the link in the episode description. And like Faz said, if you want to support us at the next level, click the Patreon link. There's a lot of pre-games there. There's one that we're just putting up about who Thor's love interest should be.
And guys, the pre-games are finally structured. We've heard you. You love when we have shenanigans. We're still going to have shenanigans, but we're also going to have topics that you'll enjoy hearing about. Ever wondered which hammer Ryan likes best? It's Faz's hammer. Ryan likes Faz's hammer, but which hammer that Thor wields? That will be answered eventually.
On this guy. So everybody, we love you. We thank you for this, and this is coming out a little bit before Christmas. So we hope you have a great holiday and that you enjoy that, and you get many comics in your stockings, and you get all the comic book goodness. Hopefully, if you get some good Thor gifts, let us know on social and we'll share the Thor gifts that you got. That'll be really awesome. So everybody, we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to hop board the Rainbow Bridge, and we're going to remind you that no matter where you are, no matter who you are with, no matter who you are celebrating the holidays with, whether it's an angsty little alligator, if it's the multiverse versions of yourself at the TVA, if it's the dark dimension versions of yourself from Dark Asgard, or if it's your long lost son from another comic book universe, we just hope that you stay worthy.
If it be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Bum, bum,
Bum, bum, bum.
Eric, in a couple of issues, you have to start singing along with us just so that we're clear.
We've let this slide long enough.